So we're keeping these undesirable branches on the tree so that the next class we can workshop with the kids and talk about what makes a good bonsai, what should be cut off and what should be kept. So we're doing that on purpose. So in that way I'm going to be overwiring these trees in preparation for the next class where there is more to cut off, more to work with. And we're also going to fertilize these trees very heavily so that they grow a lot. And that way that there'll be more material for the next class to work on. So here we got a branch that is probably undesirable. However, it does fill in a lot of this negative space here. So I am going to keep it up until the next class. And then we can maybe work on some other options. Actually, you know what? I'm cutting it off. These two buds are longer and this one is shorter. So I pushed it up in between these two buds and this starts defining a three-dimensional branch. Just a little bit up and a little bit back. You can even layer him over the top a little bit and look, with three buds, it's already starting to look like a pad. And we've got so many more buds that we can pull into place. Look, started to create a bonsai pad. Okay, I think that's going to work out fine. So I am interested to know, and can you please leave it down in the comments below. So when you are watching bonsai videos on YouTube, what is everyone looking for? Are you looking for detailed, in-depth, how to wire, generally how to style, what is your skill level, and what would you like me to cover more of? See, I would really like to be producing what you guys want. And at the moment I don't really know what that is. So can you please comment down below what you want me to do more of, and I will absolutely love to oblige. I would absolutely love to make exactly what you want. So I can do wiring, pruning, aesthetics, styling. I can do philosophy, anything. You let me know what you want and I'll start producing that for you. Now that these buds are all more evenly spaced, this pad is starting to look a little more refined. Yeah, okay, we've got some outliers and that's okay, but in general, once you get all the bottom buds nice and flat, okay, then you've got a nice rounded pad here, and that's what we need. So I hope you can see that. This pad here. I really need a better backdrop for this tree, as it's difficult to tell what is this tree and what is the orchard.
Really, it seems pretty obvious that if that was available, it'd be amazing.
Like what?
It'd be fantastic to have. Like what you just described with the black pine.
Mm-hmm.
The black pine, because it has typhoons, that impact on it, hence you can work on it faster, it can develop faster, right? Or more intensely.
Yeah.
As opposed to the white pine, perhaps opposed to any of the other trees that I don't know about. But say, in your mind, it's clear, because you know, because you've worked on it, because you've seen that.
Yeah.
But for me, I get the concept, but if there were a visual, if we could have a visual, a progression of those trees, a sketch or a photo with a name, and then showing, oh, is that?
It's a mic.
Is that a mic? Okay.
You can just hold it.
Sure, and then showing say the trees that you can go at really hard or that progress really fast, and then going on to the slower moving ones, or the ones that would take longer to progress. A display like that would just be so informative to someone like me, and beautiful and exciting and interesting, and it would give you that sense of, well, if I'm really in a hurry, I just want to see results, I want to try it out and see some change, well then I know I can. There are these trees. And then once you calm down a little bit and you're
develop some
in this
patience
for the long term, right. Then you can start working on these other types. That kind of a feel.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Likewise with the deciduous trees that would be easiest to harden, that kind of thing, like big display as opposed to just a small book format. Or,
Yeah, well, tomorrow I'm going to bring you all the sketches I've done at home. I did do a trident maple progression.
You don't do you keep telling me you do sketches. I haven't seen any sketches. All right.
I've done some drawings from like a stick in a pot to fully developed tree, and we can start with those.
Okay.
And then, you know, maybe in the future no one draws that, the kids do it. We do a drawing class where we're like, let's visualize a bonsai. We've got some muse trees out there. We know what they look like, but how do they start and how do we draw each step so that we can start thinking ahead? Remember, we were talking about like people planning and thinking ahead. Like bonsai, maybe people think ahead in 1 year. We as professionals think like 10, 15, 25, 35 years ahead.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to imagine what this branch will look like in 20, 35 years, right?
Yep.
And prepare for that, right? If they're always growing, in 25 years, that branch is going to be out here, right?
That's so funny. I never noticed this, but because you came here and you point at this branch and this tree, and you talk about 10 years, suddenly in my mind, I start to see. I start to see that time.
Right. So that's why it's so important. Like if there's a bud growing out here, we know in 25 years, this little bud that's got like 5 needles, right? This little bud here, it's probably going to be the full branch.
Right.
It's going to make up the full branch. And whatever is here, it's going to be cut off and maybe gin at some stage, right? So we have to make those plans. And then like deciduous trees, their development style is so different that we don't think about wiring, we think about like chopping every year. Where do we chop? Where do we cut? How do we hide the scars from big cuts?
Right.
So it's a whole different thought process, a whole different like mode of thinking.
You know, another thing that just seeing you work and just talking with you a little bit about it, something that an interesting change, I guess, mentally is that the first time that we talked, or the first couple times, my mind was all thinking, bonsai, I get it. Yeah, I know all about the, trees, they grow and stuff, but how can I do something new and fresh that's never been done before? I want to do something new, right? And which is kind of just my personality, the way I am. But then now, after kind of just seeing just a little bit, then that really calms down. Yeah. And I don't really have an interest in that, that so much anymore. Yeah. And it's not, the actual art is so rich and so full. Yes. It seems. Even just in the beginning, you can get that sense of that after a couple days. That you don't need to, at least I feel like, now I no longer have that need, which I have for so many other projects and art forms, art that I do, where I say, I got to do something totally new, something fresh, some challenge, no, this is so much to do, just much
the
to
basics
learn.
Is still so much,
So very, very cool, very cool, unexpected.
Okay, so that is all we're going to do as far as detailed styling on this tree. The next steps are we're just going to pull everything else into place, but not detail wire it, as we want to leave some impression of the kids' work left in the trees. So I'm just going to gently sort of do the main wiring of this tree, and then we'll move on to the next one.